What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe and hype. So, I just wanted to do a quick video about Push Square, who put out an article saying Xbox is flip flopping on PS5 again, and it's truly getting tiring, or something like that. I wish I could physically jump through the internet and slap somebody. Whoever wrote that needs to be slapped, because it oozes entitlement. Like, they're entitled to have all of our games, which is not even true now. They don't have all of our games. They want you to believe. That's what the narrative is. That's what they want the perception to be, is that, oh, PlayStation has all Xbox games. That's not how it is. That's not it. That's not it. I have to do another video where I list the actual exclusives, the PlayStation, the Xbox exclusives, and what PlayStation actually got. And I think they got 6 games off the top of my head. I think it's 6 games. Well, I know it's the original 4, and then it was Doom. Wait, was Doom part of the original? No, it's Doom, and then Kiln just came out. But other than that, I'm trying to think, like, what else do they got, you know? Oh, Gears Reloaded, or whatever it was, right? 7. But when you think about how many games that Xbox actually has, and you say, oh, it's 7, and most of them are old. Only 2 new games. You know, once again, like Dirt said, it's the perception. And this entitled nature that they find themselves in, I don't even understand it. I don't understand it because I refuse to understand it, because I refuse to deal with people who act like they are entitled. Once I find out someone is that way, they cut off. I ain't got time for that. Too old for that. Too old for it. You know? It's time to just focus on the important things, the important people, the important events, the important games. And a lot of the ones that are important, that are cool, that are nice, not on PlayStation. There's just by sheer number, they don't have them. You know, Cyros just came out, and I don't know how good that game is, right? I'm not gonna say it's a bad game. I'm gonna say that it's such a drought over on PlayStation land that they are not overhyping, but they're over reviewing, let's just say. They're giving them extra points for having shooting mechanics, whatever, you know. It's like, I look at it and I'm like, that's Returnal in a different environment with a different main character, a man instead of a woman, and the story's different, but it's literally the same, the exact same mechanics, gameplay, the time thing. They figured out a way to tie it to the sun or whatever, the sun of that planet. So I guess Soros system. I don't even know. But it's like, it's literally a palette swap, and y'all are like, dirt. That's what y'all are doing. I'm like, okay, I mean, I know y'all are I know y'all hungry. I know y'all are starving. But this ain't the way. This ain't it. Because you're going to hype up this game. It's going to get all these good scores. Maybe. And then when they truly do a good game, something unique, something that's like, oh, snap, it's not going to be that much better as far as the score goes, because you gave this game such praise. And once again, I'm not saying it's a bad game. Also, that's different. The Metacritic score, the OpenCritic score, those scores are different from the sales. Now, Returnal didn't even sell 1 million. Yeah. So do you think that this one will sell more? Maybe. Maybe. Not a lot more. I mean, they might. I I will be surprised if this game gets to 1.5 million. And if it does in any timely manner, then something's afoot. You know, I'm pretty sure Sony knows how to play some numbers, if you know what I mean. But the main thing for Soros, I mean, the one thing I would say that I like about Soros is the main character, Rahul. I forgot his last name, sorry. But I liked him. He's a great actor. Although his character in the game looks kind of like him, but it doesn't look. It looks like they gave him some extra poundage. I'm like, he ain't that. He's a slim guy. He's not that. Is he? Did he gain more? I don't know. But that's the one thing I would say is a positive about that game. Everything else is trash. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I haven't played it. I'm not gonna play it. Maybe when it comes to PC, then I'll play it on my Ally. That's how that goes. And so yeah. And if it doesn't come to PC, they ain't gonna sell. We already know. We're 6 years in. We already know the formula. We already know what's gonna happen. We can predict how many sales are gonna happen on PlayStation because they don't buy games because they're busy playing the 1-2 games that they got. That's it, and that's all. That is the curse of the casual. Yeah, you sold all those consoles, but they ain't getting you nothing. They ain't getting you Nathan. You're not reaping from those numbers. And that's a problem. See, Xbox is in a better situation because they didn't sell as many consoles, but their players buy as much as your players do without selling as many consoles, which I would say is a healthier ecosystem. Like when the numbers aren't balanced out correctly, you're like, okay, wait a second. We're selling a lot of units of hardware, but not a lot of people are buying. So that's not a winning situation. You cannot sustain that type of business because one feeds the other. The consoles feed the game sales. That's how it's supposed to work. You buy the console, then you go buy a whole bunch of games because you got the console. You can play the games on the console, exclusives, blah, 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 right? But that's even with their exclusive mentality and business model, right? People still aren't buying games. Not even the exclusive. They're not buying the exclusives on PlayStation. So I'm like, so exclusives don't matter because y'all ponies and donkey unicorns, mostly casuals I would say, bought a whole bunch of Forza Horizon 5, a 4-year-old game that was collecting dust in Microsoft shelves in the back in the janitor's closet. They're like, what you got back there, Jeremy? Oh, y'all said to put Forza Horizon. I just put it back next to the cleaner. It's the mop, the mop cleaner for the floor to make the floor shiny. Because y'all like the floor. Yes, the floors is thank you for the shiny floors. So it's just on the shelf over there. Yeah, I mean I try to dust it off every once in a while when I see it, but you know it's safe. It's safe, but it's it's like okay, dust it off real quick. Yeah, let's give it to these fools. You can leave a little dust on it, but let's give it to these fools. They gave it to y'all, and y'all ate it up 5 million times. Yum yum yum. Yeah. No. Y'all can't hide those numbers. You can't beat the allegations. That's it. Y'all showed your faces. That's it. There's no way to say, oh, our exclusives are better. Your exclusives ain't selling. To your own console, they're not selling. And then our exclusives that were exclusive, then we said, let's give them a welfare game real quick. I mean, Forza Horizon is not a welfare game. It's the best racing game on the planet. So whatever. But let's give them a little something, some little charity. And what happened? Sold 5 million. What was the last game that sold 5 million on PlayStation? Exclusive. What's the last exclusive that sold 5 million on PlayStation? Not their game of the year. That didn't sell 5 million. Not Returnal. That didn't sell 5 million. Soros? Hell no. Soros ain't selling 5 million. What else? The show? Did the show sell 5 million? Let me know in the comments. They might have sold 5 million because I mean that's multi-plat, so I take it back. Exclusive. Did Ratchet and Clank sell 5 million? No. Did Spider-Man might have sold, but that's on PC too, so that isn't actually an exclusive. See how that works? So I can't think of any PlayStation exclusive that actually sold 5 million like Forza Horizon 5 did. I can't think of any PlayStation game that sold 5 million on Xbox like Forza Horizon did on PlayStation. You see? You looking at these games individually, you say, okay, that's an Xbox game, that's a PlayStation game. Xbox games are selling more on PlayStation. Constantly on the top 10. Constantly making money. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? There's no debate. The proof is there, it's right in front of us. And the beautiful thing about that, the beautiful thing about like how Sony has kind of fooled the ponies and Donkey unicorns and the casuals, I would say to a certain extent, is that people like Asha Sharma, the powerful Asha Sharma, and Matt Pitbull Booty, they are looking at these. They're not just in their own little bubble, Xbox bubble, not paying attention. No, they got a big old chart, all PlayStation stuff. Like, okay, so what they doing? What's going on here? How many did they sell? What? Wait, that's supposed to be that one game of the year, and they only sold. Okay, so we ain't gonna do that. What else they got going on? Okay, how come they're not selling any games? Well, boop boop beep boop boop. Well, let's not do what they're doing. Cause, yeah. And the thing is, like, exclusives work. The caveat is your game has to be good. Your game has to be the killer app. Y'all forgot that nomenclature. Y'all forgot that. The killer app. Every console needs a killer app. Xbox had Halo. PlayStation, what did PlayStation 3 have? I guess Uncharted 2. And it kind of had a bunch of them towards the end. Not at the beginning. Hell no. Giant Enemy Crabs wasn't making it. No, that wasn't a killer app. Let's see. Let's just go through all the consoles. Let's see. Xbox One had, I guess, Rise Son of Rome was good. What? They had some bangers at the beginning of the Xbox One generation. I just don't remember them though. I got a little bit of a block on that. But there are some in that. But it was just the whole, whatchamacallit, the console war. This is more powerful, Don Matrick, all the things he did, so whatever. And PS4 was kind of just coasting off of so they just did the remakes, and they did the extra, was another God of War, Spider-Man, a couple years later. So, and we go back to, let's see, Genesis. What did Genesis have? I guess Mortal Kombat on Genesis was better because we had blood. And y'all on Super Nintendo was like, oh, we got sweat, green alien goop. Get out of here with that baby ass stuff. That baby games. Nintendo and their baby games. What else? NES had Legend of Zelda. Let's go. That was a killer app. Sega Master System. I would say the best game of Sega Master System probably was Phantasy Star. The first Phantasy Star. Yo, them dungeons, I was like, how they doing 3D with this little 8-bit system? This was way better than anything on the NES. I was like, doom, 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 when you come in, it's like this. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. So, like, if you go to every successful, quote-unquote, successful console has a killer app. You can go and say, that was the best game, that was the best game. I mean, that's subjective, obviously. But you can say for the first Xbox, OG Xbox was like Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, or whichever one you prefer. I think I played the first one. I played the second one too. I think I played all of them except for like the last one. But those Splinter Cell games was crazy nice. But honestly, it was Halo. But it was a combination of a lot of games on Xbox. And then when the 360 came through, they had a year head start from Nintendo and Sony. So they killed them. They killed them with just, and the games, like the first games I got were Graw and Oblivion. And Graw was cool. I was like, oh yeah, whatever. Oblivion was it. Once I got out the dungeon and it was like, I was like, oh, I could just go, okay. That was it. That was the killer app. And that wasn't even the beginning of the killer apps. It was like, bam, and then they hit you with another one. Bam, Mass Effect. Bam, freaking another Halo. Bam, another Halo. I'm like, and then Forza was coming through. And then Forza Horizon came through, the first one. They just kept bringing the killer apps. Them hits, them bangers. But it really is killer app. So you go look at the PlayStation 5. What's the killer app? Generally speaking, the killer app is a first-party game. Now, there are exceptions, like I just said. Mass Effect, Splinter Cell, Dead or Alive. There's a bunch of games that released on Xbox that bolstered its position. But, Ninja Gaiden. But, like, if we're just talking about exclusives, like first-party games, not exclusive, but first-party games, what game was the killer app for PlayStation this generation? That came out this gen, not a remake, not God of War Ragnarok, that was on PS4, not The Last of Us Part 2, that was on PS4, not Gran Turismo, that was on PS4. All these games on PS4. Was Ghost of Yotei on PS4 too? Probably. We all know that Ratchet and Clank could play on PS4. They just didn't put it on there. And Returnal was the same thing. That game launched at 1080p. So, like I say, is it Ratchet and Clank? Is it the game of the year? Astrobot? I mean, your boy Six called it Astro Boy, but that's him. I guess he's Filipino, so he doesn't, I guess, have the full grasp of the English language. So maybe I'm just kidding. Don't get at me about that. That's just a joke. Sorry, bad jokes, but jokes nonetheless. But look, we're looking at many different things, many different factors that lead to success when we come into console. When we're talking about the console industry, when we're talking about video games, right? If we're talking about specifically console ecosystems and all these things. Now, console ecosystems didn't really exist back in the day. It was just console games. That's it. There ain't no ecosystem. There was no online, none of that stuff. Xbox brought that to fruition. Xbox Live was the jump off. And, everybody follows suit. So, do you think, it's a question for y'all, do you think that Xbox is about to do that again? They're about to create another jump off point, inflection point in the video game industry space where they do something and everybody else follows. That's what happened. They did it multiple times. Xbox Live, achievements, voice chat, all these things. Asha, she's correcting course. She's fixing some things that are, less than, that are lacking in the Xbox camp right now, and she's doing a stupendous job. She's doing the best job, I think, right now. 2 months in, she's the best CEO Xbox ever had. I mean, look, she could fumble the ball next month. Tomorrow she could fumble the ball. I'm just saying, as of today, she's the best CEO. I love Phil. Sarah was the queen. She did her thug dizzle. They get much props and respect. But right now, the powerful Asha Sharma, she's doing her thug dizzle. She is the best CEO right now. Better than all the PlayStation CEOs. But, I mean, Jack Tretton was cool. He wasn't horrible. I think there was an era, I think it was that PS3 when they had that that PlayStation head of advertisement dude, and he was an actor basically, and he was doing all the commercials and stuff. That was funny. I forgot what his name was, but that was funny. That was a good ad campaign, and it kept going and it kept going. That was good marketing right there. Now people are saying, "Oh, PlayStation has better marketing." They don't. What did they cut together a trailer for NBA or something, and they throw it up on Twitter, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I see it. I see a ad, a cut together gameplay ad of whatever game on YouTube before," and I press skip because I don't want to see that crap. I hope that every time I press skip on a PlayStation ad, it minuses a watch, so they can say, "Yeah, all these fools skipped it because it's trash." That's the volume of marketing doesn't make it better marketing. But I will say there is something to be said about flooding the market with your marketing, and then that's all people see, that's all people know, and subconsciously it does attach. It does get a little sticky. So I'll give them that. Are their ads good? Hell no. They're ads. They're like, blah. They're like, okay, that's trash ad. Thank you. Okay. I know it's a game. And obviously you want to promote PlayStation. So yeah. Okay, thanks. But like what Asha's doing right now, it's not even ads. It's not even like advertise. It's not even like, hey, here's the game, go buy it. It's not even that. What she's doing is correcting kind of that false or that negative connotation of Xbox, and she's doing it by interviews. She's doing it by these town hall meetings that are leaked. They're not leaked. She's obviously giving us the goods, because she knows that we want to hear some stuff. We want to hear what you got going on. And it's not like, oh, we want to hear you say the things that we want you to say. That's not what it is, because we don't know what she's going to say. But what she's saying is positive, and what she's saying is making us happy, right? And so that alone is more powerful than a goofy commercial about NBA 2K or whatever that game was with the lady on the truck on top of a skyscraper. I was like, I still don't understand what that is. Imagination place. I was like, that's the stupidest. Okay, I understand y'all trying to be artsy and stuff. That didn't work out too. I mean, y'all need to stop that, because every time y'all try to be artsy, everybody's gonna, they be like, well, I don't know what the hell y'all, what is that? Why the truck on the, what game is that? There's no game. It's an imaginary game that doesn't exist. Maybe on the PlayStation 9. But so far, so good. Even like the interview she had with Steven Totillo, right? And he was going in. He was trying to get the dirt. He was trying to ask them tough questions. You know what I'm saying? Ask them tough questions. And she's cool. Man, you can't stifle her. You can't shake her. She's a professional, bro. You can't. She's not the one to mess with. I mean, Miss Sarah, Queen Sarah was not the one to mess with either. But Asha, she got some extra squirrels or something up in there. She is doing work. It's like mental. It's not gymnastics, obviously. It's just mental control over these fools. And she's not saying the wrong thing. Once again, I always go back to the psychology. And she understands the fundamentals of, you can't look weak in competition. You have to. It's almost like boxers when they talk shite. Some of them go carried away, and then they drink your water bottle or whatever. They smack you in the faces. They do stupid stuff, right? And it really is for the camera, but at the same time, it's a little disrespectful. And I think Phil was always trying to not be that way. He's trying to, be a different type of CEO and have a different type of environment for the video games and no vitriol and stuff. But he doesn't understand that this is a console war. And Peter Moore, thank you, chat. Thank you, all my commenters who corrected me, or it was just the one person. I forgot who you were, but I appreciate Peter Moore. He stoked the console war fires back in the day. He did that, and it worked. The 360 was the most successful Xbox. So I would say, unleash the booty. Pause. Unleash it. Unleash booty on the masses. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Matthew Butalamus Aurelius Boot. I don't know what his names are, but listen, I have a feeling that a lot of this energy, a lot of this angst, if you will, I think it's Matthew. I think Matt is up in here. He's like whispering, like, yo, you should probably tell him this and that. And she's like, okay, that's okay to say? It's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. These are idiots. Don't worry about it. Okay. Bleep bloop, bleep bloop. Like, how did that go? Like, yeah, it's cool. It wasn't offensive. You're good. I mean, I can imagine kind of the talks. I mean, like I said, she's so intelligent that I'm pretty sure she can handle our stuff. She has enough wit. She has enough of a knowledge base of many things, I would say, that she can, she could do what she needs to do. But on the console war side, I think we need a little bit. I think they're both they're a good kind of combination. I don't know, like, if Jason Ronald was just being held back, or like, I don't know if he felt like he needed or wanted to respond to. I think maybe like the company line back when Phil was there, and Sarah, was that we don't respond to these idiots. They're just trolls and blah 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 blah, right? And I'm like, that's, I mean, yes, you can't really respond to everybody, but at the same time, you have to have a chart. You have to have a list of these influencers that are very powerful in the industry. They may not have like connections or anything, but they have a lot of followers and they have a lot of influence. And so when they say something, a lot of people believe it, even though it may not be true. That's what Nib tried to do the other day, and then Jason Ronald jumped through the internet, slap with his beard, and said, nah, bro, you an idiot. Go get some fish and chips or something. Go get some beans and toast, because you need some energy to get your brain working, because the AI that you're using Grok too much. That's what you need to use your own brain cells. And so, yeah, man. So I think like Asha is energized. Asha plus Matt plus Stein has energized the company itself, because you see there's a lot of just individual employees coming through saying, yeah, praising. They're happy. Happiness in Xbox is the first key step. Is foundational happiness at the company. The company that you want to succeed is important. If people aren't happy there, they're gonna bounce. They're gonna leak. All these things, right? But if they're happy, nobody's gonna leak, right? Unless there's a mole, then they're gonna find the moles, and then they won't get got. They're gonna get out of there. So there's just a lot of cool things happening. I haven't gone through those manifestos and the interviews and stuff. A lot of people have gone through and read them all. They're long, they're lengthy. There's a lot of information in there. But I like to not just go over those things. I glance over them, but I want to kind of not illuminate, but just shine a light. Just look at the behaviors, what she's saying and what she's doing. It's more so that we say, oh, just gonna read what you said and then, yeah, that's cool. But no, like back a couple of weeks ago, was the last week or something, she said, oh yeah, Game Pass is too expensive. Next week, bam, price went down. Like, oh, is that how it's gonna be? So when she says stuff, we should listen, and maybe she gonna be serious and it's gonna happen. That's a good start. If she's that type of CEO that's gonna be like, yo, that's what's up, this, that, and the third, exclusives are back. I was like, well, she's batting a million. I don't know how to do statistics. So I mean, everything she said has come to fruition. So okay, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's what she said or will say. I think there'll be a middle ground. Honestly, it'll probably be just status quo, but I think what she's going to do is shape it into a message that is positive, that isn't just like, oh, it's the same thing they've been doing. It's like, no, these are important games. We pride ourselves in the history and the legacy of Xbox, and they're gonna stay as legacy Xbox titles because this is our DNA. We are Xbox. Dun 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 dun. Anyway, I appreciate you hanging out and listening to my like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment below what you think about all this Asha stuff. Man, oh man, it's so crazy. And the whole push square, they're trying. I don't know if there's been anybody else out there trying to be negative. I've listened to a couple. I missed, like I said, I listened to Mag. He's a little negative in there. Yeah, I hear it here, I hear it there, but it's not as much as usual. So that tells me that the tides are turning, they're changing, and I'm here for it. Let's go. Bye, preach. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Till to wait.